in getting this reading out to you and uploaded on time. I apologize. I've been feeling kind of under the weather. I was feverish and I needed to be um, like in my best frame of mind and in physical health as well in order to do these reading. It is very energetically taxing, okay? So I apologize for the delay. The mid-month reading should be out and should be out a few days ahead of the 15th of this month, so I'll try to get that out on in a timely manner for you guys. So I've got the cards laid out here just to save time with the recording. I'm going to go over your initial messages first before I go into this reading. It's the same spread, same deck that I've used in the past. And let's go into your initial messages. Um, First of all, I feel like a lot of you are in a work environment where you're kind of like serving other people. I feel a lot of nurses. I feel a lot of social worker, a lot of lawyers, a lot of like public defenders. I feel like you are in a position where there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of crisis all around your environment on a daily basis. And I feel like, on the one hand, you really value and enjoy the work that you do. But on the other hand, you feel like it is emotionally and physically a little bit taxing on you. And I feel that based on the work and the energy that you are pouring into your work in order to help people, I feel like, you do enjoy it. But you might feel as if the compensation in terms of like monetary compensation, you feel like you need more because it is taking quite a toll on your emotional and physical health, okay? Like it's a very stressful environment. You're doing good work. You're doing like God's work. And a lot of you are making like are really helping people. Like you're in it because your heart's in the right place, but you feel like it's emotionally taxing somehow. I see a lot of nurses that are kind of like re-examining, and nurses get paid pretty well, but I feel like for some reason you're re-examining what you're doing and you're re-examining whether or not the emotional toll on you is worth it. I do see heavy caseloads, like case managers, social worker, case manager, even nurses, or like head sort things out. You're trying to, take care of everything on your plate right now in preparation for the end of this year. So heavy energy, kind of like hitting the ground running for many of you. And then for some of you who are in a position where you feel like there weren't opportunities for there weren't many opportunities for like promotions, climbing the corporate ladder, and things like that, and you feel like you were promised one thing, but it was never delivered to you. I feel that you are, moving in a different direction. So you're kind of like at a crossroads when it comes to your career and whether or not you want to stay where you are. And some of you are thinking about leaving. And what I'm also feeling is like you might have been in a work environment where, you had really, really good colleagues and coworkers. And together, the environment was very positive, that whatever challenges came through made it, easier to deal with. When we have good supervisors, when we have good colleagues that we jive really well with and everyone's on the same page, the day goes by a lot faster and a lot smoother. And I feel like if you were in that environment, some of your colleagues might have left that workplace to look for something else. And right now you're feeling a little bit isolated and you're thinking maybe you should leave too. My advice is, no drastic changes for this month. Don't make any drastic decisions, not for this month. If you've been feeling it for quite some months and this is the month in which you decide to do something, and it's a time for contemplation, it's not a great time for actions, okay? So just take a step back. And overall, I feel like don't follow in other people's footsteps, okay? You are a fire sign, and you are, it's a sign about, it's like an, what I feel is like an explosion of energy, where you should be the one that is the trailblazer, that is, charting out new territory for yourself. So don't follow in other people's footsteps. It might be good for them, but I feel that you're meant to walk on your own path. Okay. What I'm also feeling is that I'm sensing that there is some type of, for those of you who feel like you're kind of underpaid and underappreciated, I feel that it is time for you to get a raise, okay? It's time for you to demand a raise. It's really a time for you to put yourself like out there, and I feel like, make people match up to whatever it is you feel you deserve. Okay, so it's not out of a sense of entitlement. It's out of a sense of like, here's all the energy work that I'm putting into, my job. Here's what I'm investing in my job. So I need to be, adequately compensated so that I can continue to do my job well. And I feel like a lot of you are coming into the work environment with that type of mentality, which I feel is really good for you. And I feel that it is high time to ask for a raise. And, I feel that if you do ask for a raise, there's a slight pay increase coming through, or even positions opening up where you could apply for it and get like, a higher paying position. Okay, so overall pay increases, higher paying position, a higher, they're saying like an elevated status when it comes to pursuing a new job, or even the same job within the company that recently opened up. Okay, so it looks very, very good. So I feel like a lot of you are, you have a lot of responsibilities, and I feel that whatever the amount of work you're putting in it, maybe there might have been a few people that recently left your work environment as a result of that. The caseload is like dumped upon you, or everyone else has to like manage the burden that was left behind because somebody like left the job abruptly, or even got fired, or even just walked out on the job. But either way, somebody could even be getting sick, and then everyone else that's still there is like dividing up that person's responsibility amongst themselves. And as a result, your caseload, your workload is very heavy for this month. And if this is an ongoing thing, you need to demand a raise, okay? I feel like it's going to be really good for you to ask for what you deserve. I feel that on an energetic level, for us in relationships, in work situations, as well as in life, it's really important for us to ask for the things that we want and ask for the things that we feel we deserve, okay? So I feel that's coming in. They're saying there's a lot of money circling around your environment. So if you're in a capacity where you are working on a commission base, there's a lot of clients coming through. People will be very receptive to what you have to say in order to sell your services, or in order to get clients on board, to persuade people, to get people on board. So that looks really good for those of you on a commission basis. They're also saying there's a lot of money flowing through your current environment, so asking for a raise is not unreasonable, okay? Others of you, I feel like you're looking elsewhere altogether to look for a new job, mainly because you feel like your skills can be better applied elsewhere. I feel like you are getting some inside information as to, if there's a company in a related industry that's hiring. Um, I feel like you might even be recruited. I feel like you might be recruited by a rival company, or somebody is starting some type of startup company and they want to recruit you for, as a financier, or they want to recruit you as a partner. So I feel a lot of people might be in the law profession. You're building up your resume, you're building up your client base so that you can transition into private practice, self-employment, or even partnering up with somebody in order to build like a new company or something like that. So there's a lot of big responsibilities coming through, and a lot of people coming through to recruit you to move away from your current job to, go with them to do something else. So I feel like there are major crossroads regarding work and finances and career overall. This is a really big month for you when it comes to making these major life-changing decisions, okay? Um, Sit on it. I honestly feel like next year would be a better time anyways to revisit this. Don't make any drastic decisions, okay? So let's go into your spread. I feel a lot of finance situation, based on the images and the messages that came through before. Based on this spread, there's a lot of like emotional choices. So which it's a good balance, I feel. So let me just go into, the first two cards here. We do have the Five of Cups as well as the Eight of Pentacles. Now, first of all, the Eight of Pentacles is a card about, sending out resumes into the world, trying to like, I usually see this as like sending little replicas of ourselves into the world just to see how we'll do, just to test the waters. And to also try to branch out and see what other opportunities are available to us. This is kind of like, playing detective, looking at other companies and looking at the position that is similar to your current position in your current company to see what type of money is being paid. And I feel that you're shifting direction, trying to find a job that pays more, trying to find a job in a related industry. And I feel like if you have some type of professional accounts, professional social media accounts such as, LinkedIn and things like that, looking in that manner is going to allow you to network with a lot of people in the same industry that can vouch for you, that can also open a lot of doors for you. So professional contacts, professional networks is going to allow you to land a very, very good job. Okay, so I feel a lot of you are starting this month already looking. You might have been looking for the past few months. I feel like for the past 2 months, you might have like lost a job within the past 2 months and you're kind of like anxiously looking for new work as well. And then some of you, there might have been like a lot of people leaving your current work situation. And there might have been a lot of restructuring, a lot of, structural changes, systematic changes, new technology being implemented as well. And I feel like whenever there are changes internally, people just get very nervous. They're just like, what's going on? Should I withdraw from this situation before it gets worse? So there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding your work environment. And either way, I feel like some of you are, um, I feel like more of you are still working, but you're uncertain about the direction that the company is heading in. And so you're hedging your bets by looking elsewhere. And then others, there might have been a lot of people leaving, a lot of people that you really like, that you really get along with. And I feel as a result of it, you're kind of like, oh, I'm not going to be the last one to stay here, or I don't want to stay here anymore because all the people that I really like have left. Um, you can make new friends, okay? So don't let that be like the main reason why you're leaving, because like I said, don't do what other people do. You need to chart your own path, okay? And I feel that it would be really good for you to look either way, but I do sense as well, if you're not happy with your current job, don't just quit. Ask for a promotion. Ask for what you feel you deserve. So if like you love your job and you're emotionally invested in your job, but you feel like the workload is too much, ask for a raise. Okay? Because I feel that taking initiative in this situation is actually better than going, like jumping on the bandwagon and going with the crowd. All right? What's coming through next here? We do have the Three of Cups as well as the Lovers. And the Three of Cups usually indicates to me like some type of a celebratory energy. So for those of you who have been going through like like job interviews and have been, like networking with other people, trying to land a job, going through these job interviews, and I feel for the past 2 months, I do sense something coming through successfully for you this month. And in fact, I feel some of you might be getting multiple offers on the career front, okay? Um, so once again, it's linked up here with the lovers, which indicates some type of major decisions that cannot be made lightly. So I feel like you might be deciding, should I ask for a raise in my current job? Should I move to the next job? And you might have multiple options on the table. So you might also be like, should I, take this job or the other one? So I feel like a lot of options are coming through for you on the professional front. And then you're trying to decide, do I stay here or do I move forward? And if I move forward, which option is the best for me to move forward with? So I do feel multiple options coming in, and it looks very, very good for you guys on the professional front. On the emotional front, I feel like for many of you, you might be coming into this month newly single. So newly single, this is you overcoming past hurts, past regrets, past disappointment, and overall a very disappointing type of a relationship. Something you thought, somebody you thought would be the one, something you thought would be stable and, like go the distance. It's actually kind of disappointing. So I feel like this is a card about breaking up from a relationship. So with this card early on in the spread, it indicates taking off, mainly because I feel like you have many suitors. And I feel that, the Three of Cups is a card about socially dating. So going out, mingling, having fun, going on multiple dates, possibly like with multiple people. And there's nothing wrong with that if you are, newly single and you're ready to just get out there just to see what it's like on the dating scene, just to, have fun, enjoy your life. That's perfectly fine. Um, what I do sense though, it's linked up here with the lovers. So I definitely feel like a lot of you, um, you're still emotionally tied up with somebody from the past. You're trying to move past it, but the options that are coming through are not exactly like, 100% exactly what you want. And so I feel that you're still stuck in the past. You're trying to move on with your life. You have multiple options. They're telling you to take it easy. Miracles don't happen overnight. We have to go through the process of dating in order to find the right person, because it's all a numbers game. But at the same time, I feel like you're trying to, fill a void because of this recent past relationship that ended. I feel like everything is happening so soon and you're not emotionally ready yet to be in a relationship. I hope that makes sense. So I feel like on the one hand, you're having really good success on the dating front, but I feel that you are like um so anxious and so fast about, getting out of one relationship, starting to date, and you're trying so hard to find the one, another person to fill that void in your life, that you are like looking at the wrong person and imbuing too much significance into the relationship, or somebody comes in that is below expectations, and in the process of wanting to be in another relationship, you are kind of like putting them on a pedestal where they don't belong. So that's coming through as well. So I would say, take it easy. After a significant relationship has ended, it is really important for us to take the time off to heal ourselves, okay? Especially if we were in a relationship that we put a lot of hopes in and it didn't really pan out the way that we want. I feel a lot of you are repeating the same pattern as you're going through the dating environment right now, where you're just like, I want to meet the right one, and then I feel that you are kind of like trying to fit somebody that is not appropriate for you, and trying to fit them into this relationship, this idealized vision of a relationship that you have for yourself, and they don't belong there. So like putting somebody on a pedestal where they don't belong, imbuing too much significance into a relationship that doesn't warrant it or doesn't merit it. So that's really important to, be realistic to yourself about, okay? And I feel for many of you as well who are recently, you're recently single, you have been dating, there are some type of like, I feel like juggling act. You're dating multiple people, you're having fun, and I feel like you're dating multiple people, you're having a really good time, you're having a lot of fun. And I do sense that one person does stand out above all others. But for some reason, I feel like there's incompatibility between you and that one significant person. Incompatibilities oftentimes create a lot of physical attraction. It generates a lot of excitement. It creates a lot of physical attraction, a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry, but it's not always stable. So be very careful about, knowing infatuation, lust, and love. Like knowing the difference and differentiating between those three things will save you a lot of, unnecessary heartache and unnecessary disappointment down the line. So I feel like, if you're out there dating, just be very careful, take it very, very slowly. Don't put somebody on a pedestal, knowing the difference between lust, passion, and true love, okay? So that's something to keep yourself in check about, because I feel like you're anxiously rushing into things and hoping that it will work out, which is more of the Sagittarian, something that I usually see Sagittarius doing well. But they're ruled by Jupiter, which is like, the planet of luck, and they have a penchant for things just going the way that they want. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they have a very strong sense of intuition. They have a very strong sense of timing, and they're generally very, very optimistic and lucky. So things tend to work out the way that they want. For the rest of us, however, I feel like we have to approach things in a more rational, methodical, and also practical manner. We have to gauge things step by step, and we have to let things play out over a longer period of time before we make accurate assessment. Okay, so you can't really wing it. You need to like put in the emotional investment. You need to put in the time, and you can't really rush the process of trying to find the right one, because what happens is, especially for those of you who are dating, if you're looking to find the one and you're dating, you're basically on the right track, because you're sending out intention to the universe that you're looking, that you want to be in a relationship, that you have a specific person that you're looking for. So that's intention setting. It's good. And once you set your intentions, it's going to take the universe a little bit of time to shuffle things into place. And if you really think about all the pieces of the puzzle that needs to be there first for two people to meet, it's a lot of work, like having to work out, logistically where one person is and all the events that happens in order for two people to encounter one another. So I feel like, you need to be very, very patient. I feel some of you got out of a very, very significant relationship. You're dating right now. The options are not really panning out the way that you want. You're getting frustrated. And you're just like, why isn't the right person coming through for me? Or why can't I find the perfect partner? I've been dating for the past, 5 months almost. So I feel like it's going to take some time. Okay, so just relax a little bit. It's going to happen for you. And when it happens, like when you release the outcome and when you could stop controlling for the outcome as well, it's going to happen in a very like preordained, orchestrated, or even like serendipitous way when you least expect it. So I feel like you're pushing for things. And so they're telling you, be patient, take a step back, take a break from dating if you're like burned out, because I feel like there are a lot of social engagements and I feel like you're still having fun, but you're just tired of running into the same types who want the same things and you want something a little bit more. So that's what I feel is happening. Which brings us to the final two cards here. We have the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is trying very, very hard to like move on, like pick up the pieces of our lives and trying to move on. A lot of you are physically moving into a new home. A lot of you are physically moving into a new office. A lot of you are just picking up the pieces of your romantic life, whatever is left, and you're trying to move on from past disappointment, past hurts, and things like that. So the whole process about, you know, closing the door and moving on, I feel like it's really happening for many of you, and I feel that it's going to be really good for you. I'm gonna say that in the process of, you know, being able to slam the door shut on the past and to pick yourself back up and just, you know, move on with your life. I do feel that you have new blessings that are coming through here, and it's going to be very fruitful for you to explore these blessings. So I do sense that, you know, they're saying your patience is going to pay off. If you have been kind of like disappointed with the love options that are coming through, you have something coming through like very, very soon for you. So new love options that are going to meet your criteria, okay? And then on the other hand, if you have been kind of like looking for work, I do sense new work coming through. And I do sense, you know, new housing opportunities and things like that. So if you're slamming those door shuts on the past, you are going to have like new options coming in that will be really, really meant for you, and it was created for you. So, you know, be patient. It's going to take some time for the universe to shuffle things so that, you know, that I've had. Like the cards are very, very positive. The energy is really it's very directed. So I feel like this is probably the best, most promising spread that I've done for all the other signs, for all the signs for this month so far. In terms of your spiritual advice here, first of all, we have the Prince of Wands, and this is your energy of a fire sign. So this is Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So I feel like your energy is very, very high this month. You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot of responsibilities to take care of. And this card also indicates to me major, major moves, okay? So travel, movement, and things like that is linked up with the world. And the world usually indicates like travel, communication from overseas, expanding our geographical location, expanding our philosophical location, philosophy as well, and coming across like encountering people who are very, very diverse, who are very different from us. So I feel like a lot of you are thinking about like needing to take a break, like a sabbatical. I do feel a little bit of a burnout energy at work. You're taking a break, you're going somewhere. I see like a lot of people traveling to a more tropical environment, like tropical islands, going to a warmer climate. If hemisphere, I feel like you're going more to a tropical environment. So I don't see like people shifting to a colder environment, just some place a little bit more tropical. Japan does come to mind. I do feel Japan. I do feel like, you know, the Polynesian islands. I'm also sensing very heavy energy here when it comes to, for those of you who are taking a sabbatical, I do sense like a 6 month sabbatical would be sufficient. Longer than 6 months, your skills are going to get rusty, but I feel like there might be new jobs coming through that will demand you, like that will require you to come back like within a 6 month time frame. Okay, so you know, at the very latest, like the summertime in the States. That I'm also feeling with the Four of Pentacles here. The Four of Pentacles is a card about, you know, clinging on to something. This is ways of doing, philosophies, ideologies that might be a little bit outdated, clinging on to things out of fear of change and fear of being displaced physically, emotionally. I feel like a lot of you are still harboring love for a specific person. You're, you know, at the drop, well, if the other person were to reach out to you, I feel that you would rush back in And I feel that, this is going to work against you, mainly because the universe is trying to give you new opportunities to expand. And I feel like you're not ready for it because you're fearing the change. You're fearing the uncertainty. You're fearing the unknown. So you are very fixated on this specific outcome, on this specific person, when new opportunities are trying to come through for you. So be very, very open-minded. Be very, very, I would say like flexible when it comes to timing, when it comes to what you want versus what you need. Knowing the difference between those two things would be good for you as well. So don't go back to things from the past, because I feel like you've dealt with a lot of disappointment from it, and it's good for you to try to expand because new opportunities are trying to come through. A lot of you are kind of like, I feel like you need to ask for a raise if you are kind of burned out at work and you feel like you need to be compensated a lot more, especially if you love your work and you can't imagine yourself doing anything else. I feel that it's important for you to ask for a raise. Don't be coy. Don't feel like, you're asking for too much, because I feel like they mentioned before, there's a lot of money circulating around your environment. So the money is there. If you need that raise, you need to ask for it, okay? And I feel that it's going to play out very well in your favor. And the last thing that I'm feeling here, we have, once again, the Four of Pentacles. This is going backwards, and this is like the future where there's a lot of blessings. There's a lot of love and things like that. Um, they're saying that, abundance is in store for you. New opportunities are in store for you. Your financial situation, I feel that it looks very, very good. And this is, so this message is not going to apply to all. I feel like it's a small group of you. I feel like somebody with a lot of, like a big family, okay? Like either you have a lot of children and you have been like struggling financially. I feel like you are plagued with a lot of financial responsibilities, not for yourself, but because you have a big family. And I feel that you're really, really scared about taking any type of risky venture when it comes to your money or when it comes to your job. And I feel that this is the month in which you should try to take a risk, because I feel things are coming through in abundance for you, okay? Like calculated risk. So shifting from one job to the next is going to be pretty good. I feel that for many of you, you have multiple job options coming through. So it looks good overall, okay, Leos? I feel like this is one of the most promising spreads that I've seen so far. Well, I think it was Aries. Aries or Taurus, one of those. I think it was Aries. It also looks very good, and I feel like Sagittarius is not bad as well. So it might be just the fire signs that are getting like very, very positive messages, good sense of direction in terms of like doing things well, but also we are transitioning into the constellation of we are in the constellation of Sagittarius right now. And I feel the energy is working really well, jiving well for a lot of the fire signs overall. So I do see a lot of blessings coming through. It just takes a little bit more time. Be patient. Wait till the end of this month to make any major decisions regarding movement and things like that. I feel like some of you, I feel almost like you have a property, you have some type of assets. Like you might share property, you might share assets with somebody, and I feel that, you don't want to live there anymore, but for whatever reason, your significant other or your partner needs to stay there, but you're like burned out by that place and you want to travel, you want to go somewhere new. And so there's a little bit of disagreement about, where do we live? Do we stay here or do we go? So that's coming through for those who are coupled up and have, a significant other and children especially. And then for others of you, I feel like you're hanging on to things for sentimental reason. And this is all kinds of things: relationships, friendships, work situations, all kinds of things for the wrong reasons. So I feel like it's not serving its practical purpose in your life anymore. It's not conducive for growth anymore. It is keeping you stagnated and you're holding on to it. You're like willingly knowingly holding on to things, mainly because of sentimental ties that you have to it, it is time to let go. Once you let one thing go, there it creates a void, right? And the universe will step in to fill that void with other things that would be really good for you. Okay? So, Leos, I'm going to go into your love readings right now. So give me a second. Let me clear this up. So once again, I apologize for the delay in getting the videos out for you guys. Love, romance, and so give me just 1 second. Okay. All right, so I'm going to talk about the past first. That's important just so that, we can establish a baseline. If the past situation resonates with you, then I feel that, I feel confident the rest of the reading would be applicable to you. If not, then, the rest of it might not resonate, okay? So let's just establish that baseline here. It makes it easier if people should continue watching or not. So, in the past position, we do have the Four of Swords as well as the Eight of Wands. I do feel a lot of you are still hung up on a relationship partner, and I do sense like an ex-relationship partner or a current relationship partner that you have trouble communicating with. If there has been like blockages in communication, I feel like you're trying to, figure out why, what went wrong, and I feel like this energy about ruminating, replaying the past, like replaying a specific incident, a specific interaction over and over and over and over again in your head. So let's talk about this. The Eight of Wands indicates a lot of communication coming through from a distance, okay? This is a card about like, getting on social media or even getting on, I see a lot of text messages between you and another person. It came like in a burst of fervor, and then all of a sudden it stops. So I feel like you might be dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. You might be dealing with a fire sign as well, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, but I feel like there is communication. For a minute there, it seemed like there was quick, rapid, spitfire type of communication coming through. It's all very, very positive, very flirtatious. It had a lot of promising potential. And then all of a sudden, something went wrong, and there was just like a total freeze. And I feel like you're not really sure what exactly went wrong. And a big part of you, like Leo is ruled by the sun. So it deals with like our ego, our drive, and our sense of our sense of adequacy, our sense of like confidence in ourselves. So because the situation ended so abruptly, a lot of you, try to put on a brave face and you're just like, oh, who needs that anyways? I'm just going to move on. And a lot of you never got that closure that you needed, okay? And I feel like whoever it is that you're dealing with, they were going through some inner turmoil, some external changes, like major transitional shifts in their lives at the same time that they were interacting with you. So I do feel like there were a lot of things that were unanswered, and it was never like wrapped up. So you didn't have the closure that you need as to what exactly happened. So I feel that that type of communication, it was very fruitful. It had a lot of potential, and then all of a sudden something went wrong, and two people just stopped communicating. Which brings us to the present moment, what you're really thinking about right now, the situation, the person, or the circumstance that you're dealing with. A lot of you are communicating with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. This is somebody who is very financially stable. They are very caring, very nurturing, and I do sense like, they don't take a lot of risks, but they are somebody who's really, who's very like loving, affectionate, sensual, and I feel like they give very, very good, solid advice as well. This is a really stable, reliable person. This is somebody that is coming through in your life, and I feel like you're thinking heavily about this person. What is also coming through is the hangman, and the hangman indicates a situation where we are very stuck and we can't really extract ourselves. We're also waiting on this person's decision. The hangman is kind of like a situation where you have to make a sacrifice, sacrificing one relationship for the other, sacrificing one partner in order to be with another. So a lot of you might be socially dating, honestly, and I feel like a lot of singles energy coming through with the spread, where you are narrowing down your options mainly because one person wants to build a future with you, and so you're gonna have to like reject, or you're gonna have to like cease communication with some people in order to pursue this person, or in order to be with this person, or to like be exclusive to this person. And so in your present situation, you are dealing with here the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is regret, sorrow, loss of options, having to like have a few people leave our lives. But on the other hand, there's a new relationship that is trying to form, okay? So 3 cups are kind of like spilled over, 2 cups still remain, which reminds me of that Two of Cups energy, where you have like, if you have had many, many options coming through, I feel like one person really wants to be with you, and they're kind of like putting their foot down, giving you kind of like the ultimatum, yes or no, and if you're with me, you need to stop talking to other people. So I feel like you are going to have to stop communication with like, you know, uh, all the other options that are not panning out too well in order to be with one person. And I don't feel like you're doing it too happily with this card. However, is linked up with the Justice card, and the Justice card basically means there's a great deal of reciprocity between you and another person. And I do feel like if they put their foot down and they tell you, you need to let's be exclusive, so let's not talk to other people anymore, I feel like they're gonna hold up their end of the bargain. With the Justice card, it's kind of like, are you going to hold up your end of the bargain as well? And I feel like if you are the one putting your foot down and giving the ultimatum to the other person, you're holding up your end of the bargain. It's really important to know if, your partner or the person that you intended the ultimatum for, are they going to hold up their end of the bargain? So this is some type of a karmic balancing act, like rebalancing of the karmic scale. Two people need to be on board, otherwise the relationship is going to go awry. And I feel like You're starting something new. You just met somebody else, like you just met a new person, and you're trying to make things work, and you're trying to like gauge where the other person is coming from. So I do sense, a lot of temperature taking. So it's sort of like you show me yours, I'll show you mine. So there's a lot of like, you're asking for a lot of return on your investment. You're asking for a lot of validation. You're asking for a lot of reassurance. And I feel like if you're dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you're going to get that type of validation for you. On the other hand, I feel like for a lot of you, you might already come into this month in a relationship with a water sign, okay? So the water sign is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I feel many of you are already coming into this month. The foundation is something that we know to be true. So if it shows up here as a water sign, I do feel a lot of you are coming into this month already in a relationship with a water sign. The water sign is somebody that is very young, quite flirtatious, but harmless, young, charismatic. They're saying young, charismatic, flirtatious, and I also feel like somebody who's very like who's very easily excited. It's a very sweet, loving, kind person. They want to build a future with you. The Ace of Pentacles is always something like that is really good for you. It requires a lot of work though in order to make it happen. And I feel like a lot of you, you're dealing with a water sign. Water is the opposite element from you. So there's a lot of, attraction, a lot of chemistry. But I feel that you might not be the most compatible, match for one another. However, their energy is also like they're kind of like exciting. They're looking for a lot of intensity and a lot of reassurance from their partner. And I feel like this is somebody that you're doing a lot of temperature taking with. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And I feel like they need a lot of validation from you. They expect a lot from you. They want to build a relationship with you. And the relationship takes two. So I feel that you are going to need to put in the same amount of work in order to build this relationship. So if you're in a relationship with a water sign, I feel like they want you to step up. They want you to put in more investment in them. And they want you to like, they don't want to be the only one that's putting all the work, and they don't want to like end up empty-handed. So they are very skittish when it comes to commitment because they need you to, meet them halfway. So there's an element here of wanting to meet each other halfway, like temperature taking, expecting the same the same returns on your investment, expecting the other person to invest the same amount. So I feel like you are entering relationships with a kind of like a no nonsense approach, which I feel is really good for you. So I feel that you're doing things the right way, but you are also encountering people who are just as skittish. So they're not likely to invest unless they see what you have to offer. Okay? I do feel overall for those of you who are dating, if you are encountering an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I feel that it can be a very, very good match for you. If you're dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, I feel like they do want to build a future with you, but their energy seems to me a little bit more immature than the earth sign. Uh, which brings us to the future. We do have the moon, the Eight of Pentacles, and I pulled out some more cards just to see what direction we're headed in. And the moon basically is a very, very good card about, when it's like appearing next to a very positive card, it can be very positive. So I do feel in this spread specifically, it is a very, very good placement for a really, really great union between two people. So I feel like it's whoever you're involved with, there is a lot of healing coming through from this union. I feel like you are encountering somebody who's very much like you, like you're mirroring each other. There's a mirroring energy. You might be like completely opposite signs, opposite elements, even, or even different signs, different elements. But I do sense like both parties are very, very careful, are quite like practical, calculating when it comes to how much they're willing to invest in a relationship. I do see a lot of romance coming through for this month. I do see a lot of nighttime activities, which is always nice in a relationship. I do see like a lot of you, you live in two separate cities, I feel, two separate households, two separate dwelling, and you're commuting back and forth really late at night in order to be with one another. So I feel a lot of nighttime activities, and I feel like that looks really good. And I do feel like you're meeting somebody, no matter what element they are, they mirror you. So you might have like a similar upbringing, you might have similar life experiences, you might have found somebody that you're really happy being with. And then some of you, let me see here, I feel like a lot of people are going through a separation. So, you're trying to move on, right? And I feel like you're not completely severed yet from your significant other. And you might still be sharing space with the person that you're trying to leave behind. And I feel like there is some nighttime activities that is like under the cover of darkness. So I feel like you might be separated. You're not completely severed. So you're out there dating, wanting to meet the one. So I feel like you're not fully disclosing your relationship status. Okay? So just be careful about, new relationships starting off with a lot of concealed information or starting off with on a lie. So that's not a stable foundation to begin with, okay? I do feel as well a lot of you are trying to get your financial situation in order. A lot of you are feeling very financially stable right now. So I do see like, a lot of trips, a lot of hotels and trips added together, taken with your significant other, with the people that you're dating or somebody that you're interested in. I do feel as well there's an element of clandestine type of meeting each other very late at night, meeting each other and not letting anybody else know about it. So like going to hotels and things like that. That's coming in for some of you as well. What is also linked up with this? We do have the Queen of Swords as well as the Sun. If for those of you who are facing some type of separation, I do feel for this month you're going to be free from it. So, the Queen of Swords, I usually think of this as like a divorced woman, a woman that is kind of like that has been through a lot and she is trying to move on with her life. And there's a lot of success associated with that as well, like a lot of happiness, a lot of joy and contentment once you are severed from, whoever it is that you have been separated from. So I feel like you're separated, you're not fully divorced, and this is the month in which you're branching out and you are dating new people and you're meeting a lot of exciting new people in particular. Um, we have earth signs, water signs, air signs. So we have pretty much across the board like all the signs. I feel you're just meeting new people in general. They make you feel quite good, and I feel like you finally have the confirmation you need that you're on the right track and that extracting yourself from the previous relationship was the right thing to do. And then for others of you who are in stable relationship, if you're in a stable relationship, they're saying that you have to continue to maintain your relationship. I do see like some of you might be working the night shift, okay? And you might not, and like you work at night, your partner works during the daytime. And so you need to find time to like, maintain, sustain the romance in the relationship. Otherwise, it's going to not going to work. So I do feel romantic gestures are kind of like being put on the back burner because work responsibilities, work life imbalances, professional and personal life imbalances are a little bit malaligned, and so you need to find ways to straighten this out in your existing relationships. I also feel for some of you, give me 1 second. For some of you, you're building a future with another person. So you come into the relationship already attached, like you come into the month already attached with with somebody, like possibly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and you're trying to build a future together. You're trying to I feel like a lot of you want to take the relationship to the next level. A lot of you like want to give your partner like a good life. Like you work really hard in order to provide for your partner, in order to like buy them nice things, in order to take them out to nice places. So I feel that coming through, and you're working really hard, but you might also be neglecting the the um the emotional aspect of the relationship as well. So just keep that in check, okay? So overall, it looks to be a very, very good spread. One last thing, if you have been dealing with somebody from the past, communication was going really well, and all of a sudden they disappeared. I do feel them coming back in, especially if they are if they are an air sign or a fire sign. I'm hearing like the relationship started off really, really well. All of a sudden, like something unexplainable happened, and then it just stopped. I feel like they're coming back in, and there's going to be a resolution, a reconciliation, a coming back together, or at least, some type of explanation to allow you to understand what exactly happened, and then you can choose to get back together. You can even choose to like reconnect, okay? So there's a lot of good energies coming through across this spread for you guys. So I do wish you the best for this month. I will be back for the mid-month reading, and I'll try my very best to get those things out on time, okay? So can't if you'd like a private reading, my website is in the description box below. You can view my availability on the website. If you choose to schedule an appointment, you can schedule it very easily on that website as well, all right? And I'll be back for the mid-month reading. Take care of yourself. Enjoy